Hi, thanks for talking to me. Appreciate it. Really
Pleasure.
enjoying the show. It's a lot of fun. Why did you want to be a part of it?
Well, because I immediately fell in love with Joel when I read my audition. I There was just something that jumped off the page about him. He was immediately relatable. There are themes in my own life that were seemed to be themes in his life. I think there was just a frame and a worldview that he has that was just enticing. There's something about his composure. There's something about his aura that I like, and it was just jumped off the page right away. And you could tell immediately that the Joel and the Birdie of it was they were going to collide in some capacity. I didn't know how and to what degree and specificity at the time, and that was sort of been revealed
Yeah.
with every episode, which has been such a joy because Bill and Jenna have just handled it so masterfully. They've created these beautiful characters across the board, for all of us, and specifically with Joel and Birdie. There's just such a beautiful uniqueness to their dynamic, and I just love how they ground each other and resonate off each other, and how they sort of like circle the drain around each other. And then I just love this dynamic, which is revealed in episode 2, like right away. It was this shocking relationship that they've had. You don't realize it. She runs to the police station, to tell the cop about the murder, and you're like, what the heck is she doing? And then there's that shocking scene at the end, where he turns to her and they kiss, and you realize, oh, they have a relationship. They've had a relationship. They have a relationship. What is their relationship? And that's the question that's explored in the subsequent episodes. Like, what is their relationship? How did they get there? And that's really what's been so exciting about at least my part of the journey is exploring the Joel and Birdie of it all.
We'll talk about working with Melissa.
Melissa's great. She's great. She's terrific. She's really terrific. Um, I Okay, I'll share the story. I remember the first day we really worked together in episode 2, and it was that block. We had a block of scenes in the police office, and I remember sitting across from her during rehearsal, and just because I fell in love with Joel and Birdie before anyone was cast,
Okay.
and so like I've loved these two from the beginning, and so to like I was so curious to meet Birdie, and Melissa just came so dialed in. Like Birdie was so there and so present and so powerful and so just like captivating. And I had this weird flashback, and I've never had this experience ever before, but I had this weird flashback sitting opposite her during rehearsal to when I shot my very first scene in Legally Blonde. I remember shooting the breakup scene in the restaurant opposite Reese. That was my very first scene. I showed up ready to go, and I remember our rehearsal, and I remember being so blown away by how good Reese was. Like it was like Elle Woods was there.
Yeah.
There was no Reese. It was just Elle Woods, and her choices were so specific and so beautiful and so powerful. I remember it just blew my mind. And I kind of panicked. I was like, "Oh, like it just kind of blew my mind. Like everything I thought I knew about my character, everything I thought I knew about the world was all just sort of like gone.
Uh-huh.
And the only thought I had left in my mind was like, and I'll never forget thinking this because I was so blown away by how present she was in her character. I just remember thinking, throw it all out, just keep up with her. Just keep up with her and you'll be fine. I haven't had that sort of like reaction to an actor's work until I worked with Melissa, like 20, 25 years later, and her Birdie. And I was just like so excited. Of course, this time it's a little different. Like I'm a little more experienced.
Yeah.
I was ready to go. I was locked and loaded too. I'm like, all right, let's dance. But it was like it was such a like when you've worked with like really brilliant actors who have turned in iconic roles, um, it leaves an impression. And to feel that impression again working with Melissa was just very, very exciting. And so I've been very honored to work with her. I'm very excited to bring Joel and Birdie to life together with her. She's a phenomenal person, a phenomenal actress, and yeah, and Birdie is just a phenomenal character.
Does that at all though freak you out when you feel like maybe you have to change, I guess, the way you were planning to approach it? Because that's what it sounds like from what you're saying, that it wasn't quite what you were expecting in a good way, but
Yeah, I mean, for Legally Blonde, yeah, I was just, you know, I was young. I think I was 23 maybe when I played that part, maybe 22, 23, and I was super green as an actor. And, and I think I'd also not necessarily grasped how broad and how big the movie, like the tone of the movie
yeah.
was. And so the Elwood character was just so big and full of life and vibrant and vivid and just like sparkling and shining. I was just like, I was a theater major, like dropped out of like theater school to move to Hollywood. I was like used to like actors spending weeks trying to find their character, you know what I mean? Like just, so to like show up and have somebody like that's spot on, like right away was looking back on it, a tremendous honor to be able to experience that with an actor as talented as and as accomplished as Reese Witherspoon, and then to be in that movie. But it has left me with an impression that I rarely have ever felt on anything else before, except working with Melissa now.
Well, it's good to get it again.
Yeah.
So is there anything you had trouble connecting with him other than maybe the fact he helps her cover up a murder?
No, no, I felt connected to him from the very beginning. There was something about it. I don't know what it is. My life and his life just aligned the minute I read it. I set in my audition. Couldn't stop thinking about it. Normally, I'll send out an audition. I just let it go and trust that it comes back if it needs to. But I couldn't stop thinking about him. There was just something about him that was like sat in my heart. It was like I just could see him. I
Mhm.
could see him, and I could see him see her. And it was like this very unique vision. I've never had this experience before. Never in my 25 years, I've never had this experience. And so when they called me with the offer like 2 weeks later, of course I was thrilled, but I was also like not surprised.
All right.
I was not surprised. I was like, I knew this guy
Good
was,
roll.
yeah, I knew it was mine. I knew he was mine. I knew we are one. Joel and I are one. And I absolutely love that guy.
I know we're almost out of time, but can you quickly, is there anything you're allowed to tease that's coming up at all without giving away too much?
What can I tease? No, nothing. All I can say is that my favorite episodes, like my favorite episodes, are coming up right now. So I would say you got to watch 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11,
Quite a lot,
12.
huh?
Like you gotta watch them all. I gotta watch them all. I gotta watch them all. I just read 112. I about flipping. I died. I fell out of my seat. It's so beautiful. It's just that's what I love about the show. There's just a beauty about it. There's just a beauty about it that functions on multiple dimensions, just multiple dimensions, and these scenes coming up for them in 12 are just exquisite, exquisite, beautifully written, and we're about to shoot them soon. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And then I remember texting Bill after I read 12. I'm like, dude, I'm sad. And he was like, why? I'm like, because there's only one left. I don't know that I've ever been as invested as the actor to the character as well as the audience. Like I feel, I'm playing this character that I love, working with people that are fantastic, and I'm also invested as the audience because I want to know what happens
Mhm.
next. And yeah, so it's one of these stories you want to keep telling it. You really just want to keep telling it because it's so delicious.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more. I watched all five of them at once. I admit that sometimes I think, should I admit that? Well, I did. I watched it straight through, so I
Oh,
really,
good, 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 good. I'm glad. I'm glad.
yeah. All right, well,
Well,
have a good rest of your day. Thank you for talking to me. I appreciate it.
thank you. My pleasure.
Bye bye.